Hi again everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So BBIG hit a bit of a bump during Tuesday's trade, shedding 6.5% in the regular session on the not so unexpected announcement of changes to the Vinco Ventures management team. However, following this, what we have seen in the aftermarket session is a sudden drop off by a further $1.80 or about 20% in the low volume session on the news of the Tide dividend being delayed yet again. While these two catalysts may shake the confidence of investors in BBIG after its recent strong price action, I don't think there is too much cause for concern at this point. So in this video, we are going to analyze these two news catalysts, update the short squeeze, and have a look at some technical price points for the stock. So let's get into it. So looking at our half-hour chart, keep in mind that my Wednesday is the US markets Tuesday because I trade from Australia, but we can see the stock saw a bit of a sell-off in the first hour of trade before it stabilized throughout the remainder of the session, finishing the regular trading session at $7.78. I suspect this drop was on the back of the pending appointments of new managers to the business, which was officially announced early in the trading day, which I will talk about even more shortly. What we may also have seen is the effects of some potential insider trading regarding the company's then upcoming aftermarket announcement regarding the further delay of the Cryptide dividend. Just to put the aftermarket plummet into perspective, look at the price drop that was experienced around 5:30 p.m. This was about the time that the Cryptide dividend delay was announced by the company. The stock fell from the regular session close of $7.78 all the way down to $6.06 in the low volume session. So what we have likely seen here is that investors who were in BBIG hoping to gain the Tide stock dividend and were possibly contributing to the recent price rally in anticipation of the dividend make a quick exit from the stock. So back on the charts, I've added this green line to capture where the stock fell in the aftermarket. It is sitting below the red dotted line that I had previously drawn for this stock as a potential level of safety based on previous trade action. So one could make a case that we could see the stock, at least for now, retrace back to this level. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see the stock correcting back towards the $6.65 range when trading resumes on Wednesday. Other points of correction we could consider can be found in the array of volume weighted moving average prices, the lowest priced of which being the 100-day volume weighted moving average price at $7.52. Above that, we also have the 50 and 20-day volume weighted moving average prices, which have both converged around the $8.20 mark. However, I think that this lower $7.52 price point would be more likely to come into play if the stock is able to rally on Wednesday back above the $6.66 mark, as this represents the average buying point of traders for the last 100 days, traders who will hopefully not be looking to sell at a loss. Whether any of this occurs or not remains to be seen, but who knows, but let's hope so. On to the announcements. So this first 8K filing I want to discuss is the one that is logically causing the most damage to the share price, that being the delay of the Tide dividend. I have recently covered that there was an initial 1-week delay which had set up to make this coming Friday the date of registration to receive the Tide stock dividend. However, the new registration date now looks set to be around the 27th of December. While this news may be disappointing for those who have bought into Vinco Ventures to receive the Cryptide dividend and helped rally the stock in recent times, this move by the company would have not been totally unexpected. I think given the vagueness displayed by Vinco Ventures around what assets this new Cryptide entity will contain would suggest that their initial timelines from back in September to have the spin-off were too ambitious and arguably being rushed. Now, given that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have recently hit new record highs, this would be disappointing for crypto fans who have bought into Vinco Ventures for this reason. However, I believe that if strong Bitcoin prices can continue until the new registration date, we may see an even greater rally than what has been witnessed this past week in anticipation of the Tide dividend spin-off, as the likely perceived worth of the Tide assets will be viewed more valuably. So this delay may be disappointing in the short run, but it could end up leading to a very happy ending still. However, one positive from this is you could possibly construe that the fact that BBIG stock still contains the Tide assets, and given the current elevated prices of crypto assets, this could further fuel and present a greater horizon to push the short squeeze for the stock through to December. But that all depends on what the stock does on Wednesday, I suppose. Looking at the shorts data from Fintel, we get a very mixed bag when it comes to assessing the state of the short squeeze with BBIG. I suppose we need to factor in the 2-day settlement delay that can affect these figures, but beyond these mixed results, we really have a short squeeze effort that could be on the brink of collapsing. It looks like the future health of the short squeeze very much is pinned to how the stock trades on Wednesday. We may see an upward move from the aftermarket price level as short sellers try to utilise the opportunity to cover their positions. However, if the price can't recover to a decent level with good support, I think we will see a major downgrading of this short squeeze effort in the longer term. So for now it's still alive, but Wednesday really could be an inflection point for this play. Finally, onto the other piece of company news which rocked the boat, but really shouldn't have yesterday, that being that Vinco Ventures boardroom is being overhauled. The company is seeing the resignation of CEO and Chairman Christopher Ferguson, as well as CFO and Treasurer Brett Vroman, new appointments of Lisa King as President and CEO, as well as Stephen Garrow as COO, and Philip Jones as CFO. There was also the resignation of directors Lewis Foreman, Frank Jennings, Marianne Halford, and Kevin J. O'Donnell. This vast change in company management could spook investors at first sight, but it really shouldn't, as Vinco Ventures had already named a new board, CEO and COO back in September. This was one of the items that would have been voted on last week at the shareholder meeting and therefore should not be a surprise to investors. Although the new CFO, Philip Jones, would likely be a new name to those who follow the corporate affairs of Vinco Ventures, the rest of these appointments were expected. The new board and leadership that is being brought in has been selected to help steer the company forward with its new direction, which is clearly centered around growing their Lomotive business. We have spoken about the incorporation of Adriser and yesterday the launch of Lomo Records as businesses to help further build the Lomotive social media platform into a unique and appealing offering. These are managers that are being tasked with taking the company in that direction, and not a vote of no confidence on the previous board. You could even make a joke that as the company moves away from their crypto focus, part of their spin-off of Cryptide is the spinning off of the board members that were responsible for gathering and building the assets going into Cryptide. I did say it was a joke, that doesn't mean it was going to be funny. If you wanted to find another positive from this move, you could now reason that the senior leadership and board of directors is actually larger than it was previously, which is a sign of company growth and expansion. And really, from a management perspective, confirms what many shareholders believed to have been occurring this year via the crazy series of mergers and acquisitions, that being Vinco Ventures has been expanding. So the main takeaways from this video are that the Tide dividend is being delayed. The new registration date is now on the 27th of December. The other company news about the board overhaul was expected and I think reflects the growth of Vinco Ventures as a company following their recent dealings with the likes of Lomotive, Zash, Adriser and yesterday's launch of Lomo Records. I don't think this change of board should be something that hurts the stock price beyond an initial shock, as it was expected. And while the board overhaul appears to have startled investors initially, and if read at the same time as the Tide dividend delay, may paint this picture of a company in chaos, but what is actually happening is really quite the opposite in this case. Other than the delay of the Tide dividend, all of this was actually expected. Regarding the short squeeze play, the price move down to $6.06 occurred during the aftermarket. Therefore, it is not entirely indicative of where the stock is going to trade on Wednesday when it opens. But in saying this, if we do see trading around this level throughout Wednesday, this will really trash the health of the short squeeze effort. So it is a space to watch with great attention if you are in this stock for the short squeeze play. If not, it could be another buying opportunity to get in at a good price. Anyway, what do you guys think about BBRG? Are we about to witness another price collapse or is it going to bounce back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time everyone, may the markets trade in your favour. Cheers.